is it you pray for?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 24th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me is my co-host Lawrence Knight. How you doing, man?
What's going on?
One second, I forgot to mute this into my ears. I hope you guys didn't hear that. I'm pretty sure you didn't, but I sure as hell did. I was loud as hell. There's like a 2-second delay, and all of a sudden I was hearing myself from 2 seconds ago, and I was like, "Well, that's weird."
Well, that was me too, though, because I had another window open, and I was like, oh shoot.
Right. Yeah. So it was like because I keep a separate window open with the YouTube side on because that way I can see the chat on the YouTube side as well as on the StreamYard side. And yeah, I forgot to mute it today. So apologies about the pause there, guys. So welcome everybody. I see a lot of new faces tonight. Good to have you all. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and say hello to who we got. I see Logical Spock. Good to see you, buddy. You've been doing a lot of work promoting for everybody. That's pretty cool. We all appreciate that, I think. And there's something else I forgot to mute. Hold on just a second. All right, got that taken care of. Tim Hayes, first time on the channel. Good to see it. I don't know. I feel like we've interacted before somewhere. But either way, welcome. Ozzy, as always. And also, I did ask him, and he has no idea what you're talking about.
You know what? Yeah, he emailed me maybe just before you and I got backstage, and he's like, "Yeah, Larry, da da da." I'm like,
Yeah,
"What the hell are you talking about?"
I think you may be talking about two separate things because I got a lengthy email from him too about something that I'm not sure is connected to what you're saying there. But yeah, good to see Joker Voice. Awesome to see you as always. Troy, welcome, buddy. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And Netter. Both awesome people. Check out their channels. They do good work. And yeah, good stuff. Go check them out. What else we got here?
Kohai's here.
Hey,
Beak
I
is
see
here.
Kohai. I see Beak. Good to see you guys. Yeah, all right. As people trickle in, we'll say hello and let's get on with the show. So Larry's got a panoply. There's a word I don't get to use very often. A panoply of things for us to go over tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, not quite yet. We got some new people in the chat. I kind of want to see what everybody's talking about. But I will bring this up though. There was there was a topic that I saw earlier. Now, do you remember? You remember when I told you about the article I read about some new there's some new way that fentanyl is being used, where they're mixing fentanyl with some kind of drug that's used on animals,
Mm-hmm.
and
Greetings,
as
Lou.
a result, hey Lou, but as a result of it, when they mix it, people were going into a zombie-like haze, and then when they would come to, they would notice that all of a sudden, they had holes in their body, like patches of their skin was falling off, literally. So they looked like zombies by the time they came to, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I thought to myself, okay, well, you know, I kind of read it and I was like, this might be an opinion. This could be who knows what. These days you got to be careful with what you read on the internet. Yeah, Trank.
Suka, hold on a second.
Suka knew exactly what.
Suka, did you change your profile picture because you were getting so much crap from Undead Chronic last night? Good to see you, but yeah, yesterday, totally different profile picture
Yeah.
yesterday. This one's cool though. I like this one.
Yeah, that is cool. But yeah, I was gonna put this on as a topic, but when I saw the video, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because this guy ran up on this girl, and he was like, "Look, guys, I found a real zombie." And as he got closer, he realized the whole back of her head going down to her neck was missing. That whole part had fallen off. And she was picking at it and pulling more skin off. So you could actually see the bottom of her skull. I was like, yeah, I'm not showing that.
That's horrifying, and I'm trying really hard not to laugh inappropriately at your story, but I see this and I'm just like,
I can't have hunting. You got a strong jawline there, Houston.
yeah, that's. Did she know the back of her fucking her head and neck were missing?
She was just, she was just, I guess maybe it was, she was like nonchalant about it. Like the guy was like, "Hey, stop doing it, stop doing it," and she was walking and she just turned and just looked at him and kept doing it, and I was like, I didn't know what to say, and I thought to myself, "There's no way I could show this on the stream tonight. There's no way."
No, that sounds to me like it was either messing with her nerve endings or she was so out of it that she didn't notice.
Man, and when I tell you that the back of her head, like they was gone, I mean it was gone.
Like just
Like
the flesh, or was the bone disintegrating too?
the flesh, like you could see the
Mhm.
bottom of her skull, like the flesh, like say from just above, like when you touch the part between your neck and your skull, like the bottom part, just above that, like halfway up and all the way down the back of her neck, all of that skin was gone, just about all of it, and it was blood
Jeez.
all over her back, and she was pulling more skin from the back of her head. She was pulling it, whatever didn't fall off. She was pulling more off.
Yeah, that sounds like super meth. You know, it's a little known fact about methamphetamines. When people get on that stuff, uh, you get real obsessed with tiny things, and so like people will like pick at their flesh, or like they'll pop zits that they imagine are there or whatever. It'll be like some tiny imperfection, but it'll be amplified in their perception so much that they'll have to, I got to pick at that. And as they do that, they end up like just damaging their flesh and putting holes in themselves basically with their fingernails.
Yeah.
And they really don't like, yeah, it hurts, but you don't notice it, until obviously later after the come down. And then, your nerve endings are on fire and everything. But it's some pretty awful stuff. This sounds like, what is the name of the scopolamine? This sounds a little bit like scopolamine mixed with something else.
Well,
So
I don't know, but whatever it was on, it must be some powerful stuff because that lady was picking at it like it was nothing, and I couldn't believe it. And the guy, you could tell it was a young guy. He was laughing until he got close to her, and then he just tripped out. He was like, oh my gosh, stop that!" And she just kept walking, and she just turned and just looked at him.
yeah, yeah. JV, I don't know how Schwab fits into this. I don't believe he's responsible for every single evil in the world. This is probably just some D-bag cartel looking to make buck off of stuff, and they're cutting it with something that is harming their customer base more than it should. Uh, you know what scopolamine is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the zombie drug.
yeah,
It's literally the zombie drug. Like, it doesn't obviously make you look as undead as this, but it makes you extremely susceptible to suggestion. It slows down your vital signs uh, to a point where it's fairly easy to miss like a pulse or something. Excuse me. And there's a really good book about it, and I forget the name of the doctor who wrote it. Wes Craven made a movie on it called the Serpent and the Rainbow, about a doctor who goes from like New York down to Haiti to check out scopolamine because it has remarkable what's the word I'm looking for here, anesthetic properties, right? And so they were thinking, oh, this could be a miracle drug. This could change the face of surgery forever. But it's also deeply rooted in Haitian and voodoo culture, which and there are other side effects like the suggestibility and the weakness of will and that sort of thing. On top of which, if you ingest a bunch of that stuff and somebody finds you and doesn't know what they're looking for, it's very easy to bury somebody alive. you know,
Yeah.
um, kind of thing. I mean, it's some scary, scary stuff. And this kind of sounds like some of the effects of scopolamine mixed with, I don't know, battery acid.
I would think that the battery acid would do more than just zombify the young lady and have her literally picking the back of her head off.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Zyro.
greetings, Aaron. Good to see you. So yeah, it's yeah, JB, that it is a good movie, but it's based on a book that is based on a guy's memoirs from like I think the 1940s, maybe 50s, but yeah, earlier in the 20th century. And it's some wild stuff. Like the stuff that this guy details experiencing down there is beyond the scope of the rational. You know? And it was all in pursuit of a better anesthetic. So, but yeah, this thing you're talking about, this sounds at least related, like possibly in the same family of drugs.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. I just I wouldn't even risk showing it. I was just like, no. I
Yeah.
was just like, I can't do it. But I mean, if anybody wants to see it, I mean, it's out there.
Mm. Well,
Yeah,
it's I mean, among all of the other horrors of the modern world, yes, better than whiskey, much more effective. Hey, Bernie, good to see you, buddy. So, I don't know what to make of that exactly, other than
yeah,
holy shit.
yeah. Now, for those of you, I don't know, was Burnaby on? Was he on the line stream yesterday?
I think he stopped in. Yeah,
Okay,
I thought I saw him there.
to make sure. But yeah, you guys. So Amira is back. She has another channel. Came on yesterday. It was Ablit. It was great. She had a very very special guest, Luke Casely, 20. As you can see her in the chat right now. And guys, feel free to stop by Luz and sub to her channel if you haven't already. It's a great channel. You really learn a lot. You learn Spanish. You learn a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a video she did about an interview she did with a young man that went to Colombia, and I mean, man, that story was that made me afraid to leave the country. I was like, man, I've left the country before. Of course, I was in the military, but even then, we used to get warnings about places to go and where not to go.
Hmm.
But I would imagine this day and age is probably a bit worse. I'm just lucky. I mean, lucky. I'm glad that the young man is safe and sound because there's others that have gone over there. In fact, there's a YouTuber that actually he two girls robbed him, right? And he managed to trick one into meeting up with him again. And she didn't know she had brought a different friend, and she didn't know that he had contacted the police. And when she got there, um, they were kind of talking for a while. The cops show up and caught the girls off guard. They found the drugs on him. They were gonna slip something in his drink because they had brought some alcohol. I think he got his stuff back, but what happened after that is it blew up because of the videos that he did. Now he made sure I believe he came back to the United States and started showing the videos, and then all of a sudden he started getting messages from somebody he didn't know saying, "Hey, you better take these videos down. We're her backup. We'll put a gun to your head. We know where you live. We know this, and this." Like they was naming personal stuff. It was like, of course, 'cause they robbed him,
Hmm.
but they were threatening his life. So to have that young man make it out of that safe, you know, guys, you go into somebody else's country, just remember I'm not even sure it's safe to tell people you're an American. It used to be you say, "Yeah, I'm American," but now,
Oh, no, no, no. That's the quickest way to end up in a bathtub with one of your kidneys missing.
yeah,
Yeah, especially in Eastern Europe and Latin America. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, somebody asked me, "Where do you want to go to vacation this time around?" I was like, "Utah." They're like, "Why Utah?" I was like, I don't know. Like I don't know about going overseas. I'd love to go, but and I'm the type that I try to, I would do my research beforehand, like I did when I was stationed overseas, because I wanted to make sure that I respected the culture and the people
Hey,
of
Richard.
where I went. So, while I was in South Korea, I never got in trouble with the locals or the law or anybody else, because I understood where I was, and I knew that if I acted a fool, that that our government was in accordance with the agreement, SOFA agreement, they weren't going to protect me. They were going to hand me right over to the South Koreans. And then, of course, whenever they were done, then the army would have its turn. So I was like, nope. Now, my roommate, on the other hand, he got himself in quite a bit of trouble. Quite a bit of trouble. And yeah, there's some stories behind that too. I was in the army, Richard. Yeah, he did something, man. I'll never. I don't even want to put it out there, but that guy, just some of the stuff that he did, I wonder how he made it out the whole year. I was like, how did you make it? You know? But
That's a good question.
but I digress. So anyway, welcome everybody tonight. Um, hey, we've got a jam packed show tonight. We've got a special announcement. Um, we've got some other stuff going on. Some
Hmm.
interesting articles. Um, for those of you who may not have seen last week's stream, we did a quiz, a very special quiz, and it was a test of sorts. Um, I discovered that the site that I get our quizzes and our trivia from, if you sign up and it's free, you can actually create your own, and you can either keep it private or you can release it out to the general public. So of course, I had to do something, and I had to do something. So towards the end of last week's stream, Samuel and I went through the quiz. Of course, I couldn't give him the answers because I already knew what the answers were. Um, and Even though he doesn't want to admit that he tied that rattlesnake around his axle and
Never
drove
happened.
off. Yes, it did. Yes.
Nope.
So wait. So you're saying that a Western Diamondback was not tied around an axle, and it did
No,
not.
I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying I was not responsible for it. I was a witness to it. Different thing.
And how many people were around?
About 40. It was a freaking truck stop in the middle of, on a busy interstate.
How many people saw the rattlesnake?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track.
Right, because you were the one driving the car.
That is not true. I
Okay.
have never, for the record, folks, I have never driven a car in my life with California plates. Just saying. This had California plates, wasn't mine.
Okay, but you do
And also,
have
you
an
weren't
obs.
there.
Wait a minute. You have an obsession with snakes. Who's the one always talking about flaming cobras? Who was the one talking about a water moccasin dropping out of a tree on people in Florida? That was you.
It was Illinois, but yeah,
Oh,
because it
see,
happens.
see, you
Yeah,
see, folks.
it's I like steaks, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, in
I
any event, we do have another quiz this week, um, and
Harkonnen Joker voice. How's
I
Harkonnen?
said that, and I said that to him last week. I said he was a Slytherin. I was like, I don't even need you to take the test. I know. Anyway, um,
Real quick before we move on, I did want to point out. Larry mentioned that Amir's new channel is up and running. Did a first successful live stream last night. Lioness Exiled is the name of the channel. The link to both that and her Rumble is in the description of this stream. So go sub if you're not already. Although I suspect most of you are. That's it. That's all I got.
I was just giving you some more time because I'm loading up 2 articles right now. Well, actually 3. Just about done for now.
Yeah, I don't know if that applies. I'm not. I know next to nothing about Harry Potter except what you guys have told me. So I don't even really know what a Slytherin is.
Okay, so let's see. First up, guys.
Doo-ba-doop-doop-doo.
So, um, I don't know how many of you guys know about this.
Well, that's interesting. There we go.
Whoops, jumped ahead. There we go.
I was gonna say we're watching ourselves, watching ourselves, watching ourselves.
Well, you know how the windows are. There's one window where you could switch between different stuff and it'll still keep the same one up, but I pressed the wrong one. Anyway, so this is this young man. This is I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched the Jessica Jones Netflix show.
I saw it.
Excuse me. So the guy that played Jessica's neighbor, the black guy with the curly hair. So this is his son. I came across this. I came across this yesterday. It was a news report. It was just something I saw on the internet, and apparently his son has a rare form of brain cancer. Very aggressive. Um, as you can see here, their goal is $600,000, and everything was pretty much, from what I saw, it was kind of itemized. Um, medical equipment, the boy's recovery, surgery, everything. That's what he's got to pay. Now, the good thing is that, man, somebody paid $10,000. There's a bunch of people that donated like 10 grand. Um, but this morning, this was like $421,000, and yesterday it was just over 400. But I wanted to show this because you know, and let me say this as a disclaimer. I do not know I don't know the actor. I don't know his wife. I don't know the son. I get nothing from this GoFundMe. I have no control over it. I just purely just saw it, right? But this breaks my heart seeing something like this because the first deceased person that I saw was a 5-year-old boy, and I was 5. Um, and you know, I'm sure those of you are parents, and I'm not putting anything on this on this child because he's still alive, but no parent wants to outlive their child. I would like to think, um, but this boy he's still fighting, and I just want to put this out here. If you guys have it within your heart, if you want to share it, if you've got any social media and you want to share it, if you want to donate, um, I definitely plan on donating when I get paid. So I just wanted to put this out there because, you know, with all the fighting and everything that's going on in the world, you know, little ones like this, man. If there's
Well,
anything that we can do to, you know, look out for them,
get the link, put it in the chat, and I will also add it to the description when I get a chance.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that's I agree. It's about the no parent should have to outlive their child. This is very true because it's against the laws of the natural order. It
yes,
isn't supposed to go that way. So,
that's that's right. That is most definitely right. But hey, any of you guys, anybody that shares it, donates, you know,
hey,
I
Bill,
mean,
how's it going?
thank you.
Shadow, good to see you, buddy.
That's
Uh,
depressing. Well,
yeah.
Shadow, you can help by donating, Shadow, and by sharing the link that I've posted. All right. Yeah, I know it's depressing, but this is real life, you know. And the good thing about social media, for all the issues that it creates, is that something like this can bring everybody together. So that's where I am at.
Yeah, no worries. I am adding that to the description as we speak. There we go. Save changes. All right. So it's Lawrence dropped it in the chat there for everybody. And it's also now, if you missed that, it's in the description of the live stream, and it'll remain there. So that's well.
Well,
I don't know what to follow that up with, man. That's pretty hardcore.
okay. Well, let's do the next. We're gonna follow it up with the next article. All right. So, as you guys know, Cocaine Shark. It's down in the history books.
Wow.
In
So we're
fact,
going straight from like super, super serious to the opposite end of the silly spectrum.
well, yes.
Okay. Let's
Right.
do it.
It's like a roller coaster. You gotta dip down into the real and then bring people back up. But so you guys know, like I said, Cocaine Shark is the newest. It's the newest thing on the horizon after Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is in the books. I read something about Cocaine Cat's already been done, Suka. It's over. It's in the Cincinnati Zoo. That was
Yeah,
last week.
that was that's a real thing though.
Yeah,
That's not a movie about an
that's
animal.
not a
That
real
was
thing.
they found this serval, which is an African wildcat. It's a smaller. It's like the size of an ocelot, and it had escaped from some private owner or some shit like that. Anyway, and they found it, and it had a broken leg and a bunch of coke in its system.
Yeah, yeah. It broke his leg trying to get away from the cops. What I think is the cops knocked it out of the tree because it climbed a tree and the cops were trying to get it down. And from what I read, that's how its leg got broken.
Meth gator. There it is again.
So,
I would, you know what, Shadow? I know you were the first to bring that to my attention. I would absolutely go see a movie called Meth Gator. I think that would be awesome.
well, here's in the meantime, we have a trailer of Cocaine Shark. So, Cocaine Shark is scheduled to arrive in theaters, fins and all, in July, following last month's release of Elizabeth Banks directed Cocaine Bear, Entertainment Weekly reported. Cocaine Shark focuses on a mafia drug lord's production of a shark derived stimulant before an explosion and leak at a laboratory puts an army of mutated bloodthirsty sharks on the loose, according to the film's IMDb summary. Now, you would think after Sharknado, I mean,
Yeah, they're not gonna top Sharknado 6. That one involved cyborgs. That was a weird movie. MDMA Anaconda. I like it. Oh man, yeah, that's good. Cocaine Sharknado. Yeah.
it
See,
probably will.
Lou, you're right. These are dumb movies, but I have to admit I'm one of those guys who watched all 6 Sharknado movies and enjoyed every one of them, even though they started stupid and they just got dumber as they went along. There's a bit where there's a shark. I think this is in Sharknado 2. The shark is flying through the air because obviously, tornadoes flinging these things all over the place. And they just come flying out of these tornadoes and latching onto people and biting them in half and just all kinds of silly shit. And they're very, very poorly CGI animated. So it just looks terrible, but it's so much fun. And the main character, played by Ian Ziering of 90210 fame, has this lengthy chainsaw and he just starts cutting sharks out of midair. And it's the wildest shit.
It's so silly that it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, more films are on the way. Attack of the Meth Gator is in the works for the summer from the
Oh, is
Asylum.
that seriously a serious thing? I thought Shadow made that
Yeah,
up.
no,
That's
the
awesome.
studio behind the Sharknado franchise. So they're making Meth Gator.
You imagine DMT Goat? He's like out chasing invisible blue machine elves.
Oh Lord. I'm gonna use subtitles because I don't know if
If there's any kind of
if there's
music that will
music.
get hit for, yeah.
Yeah, so But here we go.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
the HT-25, the serum started failing, resulting in freaks of nature. What the?
oh wow. Dude, is Sci-Fi Channel back in the business of making shit movies?
I guess. Look, check this out. The background doesn't even. You could.
Yeah. That is some piss poor green screen.
Doesn't she? Doesn't she look like a bootleg Audrey Plaza?
Little bit.
I mean, she's not unattractive, but I'm just saying. Like, but you could tell they're not. That's a green screen. We had an accident at the lab and an explosion.
Oh
Remaining special.
wow, those special effects are like that is Velocipaster level of special effects. That's amazing. Oh,
Wow.
so it's like a lobster hammerhead on
What
drugs.
on apparently so.
Oh, it loves me some stop motion too. That's amazing.
Of
This is
course,
clearly not coming out in theaters.
this
It
has to be a joke.
this is like either that or it's direct to DVD or Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way that's. There's no way that's. There's no way that's going to the theaters.
Oh, there was a movie a while back, JB, called Sharktopus, which was like a shark's head and then an octopus's tentacles. It was a little weird thing. And then eventually it got into a fight with another cheesy movie monster. And they made one called Sharktopus versus Crocosaurus. It was fun, but it was really stupid. Director streaming. I'm going to watch that. I am going to watch that movie and I'm going to enjoy it.
Direct to trash can.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a
Oh my
a
gosh.
thing somewhere.
Someone somewhere is gonna. You just gave somebody an idea.
There is, and if you're watching, turn it off. There is a movie called what was it called? It was called Dick Shark, and it's a softcore porn film about a guy who uses this kind of like putty stuff. It's like that stuff that what's his name Clayface used in Batman animated series to mold his face, and he puts it on his junk to mold it into something bigger. Anyway, he gets this silly idea and molds it into a shark, but it comes to life and it drops off his body and it gets away, and it just havoc ensues.
I don't get it. You won't watch Harry Potter, but you'll watch that.
Yeah, Harry Potter is of no interest to me. None whatsoever. I can't explain it. I just, it's not even a dislike. It's just nothing about it appeals to me. But yes, I will watch extremely stupid things. My taste is not everybody's taste. That's all I'm saying about that.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with it. You do you, boo.
Yep. Have a good night, Lou. Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
So,
Lou.
I've seen that one too. No, and it was a ridiculous movie.
I've heard of that one. I didn't watch it.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know. I'm saying I didn't watch it.
Yep, me too, buddy. Me too. Yeah, Shadow. No. Oh, that's a whole other category of thing. I don't know if you've ever watched any like of the Tokyo Extreme stuff. It's not that it's just ultra violent stuff. Like one of their most famous productions, I think, was called Ichi the Killer.
Well, is he like slicing off earlobes or something up close to the camera?
Well, like the song Iron Man by Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
So you know how it describes a man who becomes a monster made of metal and goes on a rampage,
Yeah.
right? So kind of like that if the monster made of metal was also like a blender
What?
with drill bits and other yeah, it's extremely blood like yeah. I don't know how to describe it if you haven't seen it, but I would not recommend it if you've got a weak stomach.
Was he like drilling out eye sockets?
Among other things, yeah.
Oh,
It's nuts. And
he's
it's just
removing he's removing family jewels.
it's kind of hard to tell because everything's such a mess. Like it's that violent. Uh but it also the special edition of the DVD came in a so the DVD itself was had an image of like a bloody circular saw blade on it, and it came in a special case that was encased in a bag that had fake blood in it. Like it was a very very interesting packaging design.
Joker, Joker, get out of here.
Have a great night, man. Thanks for being here.
Gosh, man. Anyway,
You all heard it. Larry was about to swear. Hey, step up, buddy. That's my territory. I do the swearing around here.
Yeah. All right. So,
Um, kind of, the Phantasm movies weren't this graphic by a long shot because you have to consider. I think I had the wrong. It wasn't Tokyo Extreme. It was Tartan Asian Extreme. So they make movies. A lot of it's based from out of Korea, but some of it's Japan and that kind of thing, and for a while Hong Kong too, before they got subsumed by the CCP. Um, there's a lot of really graphic stuff, and they do not have the same kind of you know rating system or checks and balances that we do when it comes to that kind of violence. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it again if you've got a weak stomach. If you don't particularly enjoy seeing people turned into sausage without you know a sausage grinder.
I
It's
do
just
recommend it if you have a weak stomach. I won't be there to see what happens. So go ahead and watch it.
I've seen it. I don't want to watch it again, but I've seen it. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
but 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 that's you. See, by you giving the disclaimer that you gave, you're cheating the creator and the staff. You're cheating them out of potential revenue because you're
I
scaring
don't
people. That's that's
care.
that's like handing somebody some juice and telling them it's a colon cleanse. Nobody's gonna buy it, and whoever made it is not gonna make a dime because you're telling people it's gonna cleanse their colons.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I guess so. I mean, you're okay with driving around with cobras. I mean, with rattlesnakes tied around your axle. Don't tell me what else you got tied around. That's probably. I'm not even gonna say it.
I mean, yeah, Shadow, that's true. I don't think Harry Potter's worth watching. It's not my bag. I didn't say that it wasn't worth it for everybody. I just say that I'm not interested in it, therefore I'm not going to watch it.
It's not silly enough for him. But if they had tornadoes with sharks coming out of it and animals high on cocaine, he'll watch it.
No, it's the whole premise of the thing. The whole like, prepubescent wizard school thing just doesn't fucking appeal to me.
I can understand that.
It's about the premise of it. I'm just not interested in that setting or those characters. Um, and I don't know, maybe down the road I will get around to watching it, but it's been 20 years, so I doubt it.
If you haven't watched it now, then you know what I think. The only way that you would watch it is if you met a woman that you really, really like, and she wants to watch it.
You want to bet?
Yeah, because that's how I ended up watching it. Because I was the
Yeah,
same way as you. I had no interest in it.
because I did meet a woman who was really, really into it, and I married her, and I still haven't seen
Well, I guess she wasn't the one.
him. So, yeah, it just, I don't know. That was something that we did not have in common, kind of like her love of Nirvana.
Well, yeah.
So,
Alrighty. Moving on. You guys probably saw this earlier. I brought up the wrong article. So, this guy was driving on the freeway and he got a flat tire. He got a flat tire. Come to find out,
oh
this
yeah, I saw this.
yeah, somebody put cocaine in his tire.
Yeah, where they were like stashing it or something.
Yeah, yeah. So
He-
so basically, everybody, the story is this guy was driving, as I said, and his tire blows up. He gets out. He gets out of his car. He finds he finds a package wrapped inside his tire, and discovers that it's $120,000 worth of cocaine. Now, what he did next, I had to applaud him because I'm pretty sure that it ran through his head whether or not he should do it. But his first thought was to call the police, um, and really that could have gone either way for him. You know, I mean, the cops that showed up, listened to him. Um, they pretty much gave him a pat on the back for calling them, and turning it over, and because really, I mean, he could have kept it. He could have sold it, as they were saying. But I'll say that he took a risk, man, because there's cops out there that would have rolled up on him, even though he made the call. They would have rolled up on him, you know, and would have tried to say that he had it, and it has nothing to do with him being black. It's just so just so some people are just like that. I mean, you just in all professions. You just you don't know what can happen. In fact, while I brought this up, I was reading a story about this guy. Apparently, it happened back in 2013. Some guy was outside and on his lawn, and the cops were driving around and they were kind of harassing some of his neighbors. And he was just minding his own business. He's sitting on the porch and he's watching. One of the cops comes over, knocks his phone out of his hand, arrests him, and beats him. He ran onto this guy's property and beat him for recording.
Hmm.
So the city had to pay $100,000, and to me, that's not enough. And honestly, I think that I think that should be amended a bit, because if the city has to pay $100,000, then the cop that perpetrated that, you know they need to either reimburse the city, or they should have to pay the guy too. So some kind of penalty should happen for people who are doing that. But yeah, I commend this guy. Um, and honestly, I would have done the same thing. I know I would have done the same thing. I would have called them up, and then I probably called my wife, and I'd been like, hey, just try to find an attorney just in case, because I don't know who's gonna pull up on me, and they might try to say that this was mine, maybe because they haven't arrested enough people, they got a quota or something. I don't know, but yeah. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I don't know about freaking anything anymore.
So you don't know about anything except for flaming cobras and western diamondbacks?
And
No, I'm
anything.
not gonna drop it, because how did you know what kind of snake it was?
Because I recognized it. I happen to know a thing or two about snakes, man. I wanted to be a herpetologist when I grew up when I was a kid.
But have you ever been to California?
I have been to California when I was a child. This happened when I was an adult.
Okay. Did you see a western diamondback when you were a child?
Yes, not in California. As it turns out, they've got these things called zoos. There's actually quite a famous one in South Dakota called Reptile Gardens. They have all kinds of fun stuff there, including a king cobra and an anaconda.
So you're just going around the country kidnapping snakes and tying them around your car axle and driving
No,
off with them.
I don't know, guys. I don't know where Larry is getting this shit from. I tell him one story one time, and he blows it way out of proportion.
I'm not blowing anything out of proportion. I'm look. People are look. I'm interviewing you. I'm trying to find out what's underneath the tentacles.
Yeah, yeah, that's never a
I'm
good
just
idea.
asking because you sounded really excited when you brought up the king cobra and the anaconda. Now, neither of those are gonna fit around that axle. They're not.
No, the anaconda itself probably weighed more than that freaking Jeep did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, we're talking. This wasn't a particularly huge one, but as snakes go, they're pretty big anyway. Even the average ones, and he was probably, if I had to guess, because it's hard to tell. Well, with he wasn't stretched out by any stretch of the imagination. But if I had to guess, I'd say he was probably in the 17-foot range,
Yeah, that's a huge one.
and probably about. I want to say his diameter around the middle was probably about 3 feet,
Yeah.
or
There's certain types of
circumference rather.
there's certain types of king cobras that are that big too.
Yeah, the one that they got up there was pretty huge. His head was almost the size of my head. He was a big snake. He was probably a 12-footer. He's the largest pit vipers on Earth, man.
Oh yeah.
They have freaking 4-inch fangs.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, they're pretty huge. So
Yeah, they'll stick it in you deep with them fangs.
but yeah, okay. So wait, hold on. In chat, what's going on here? As obsession with, I mean, I guess I don't fully understand what that means, but sure.
Because finally somebody believes me and what you've been
Yeah,
doing to these snakes.
yeah. Oh, he's like doesn't help me sleep easy with a starve strike. Yeah, well, fair enough, man. I get that, but I've got something from Kohai here that will definitely mess with your sleep. Hey, you remember last week when she told you to get fucked sideways with a cactus? She didn't forget either.
She didn't forget. Hey, and the cactus has 2 arms out so it can give him a reach around.
Yeah, that's
And
so
the other arm will hold him in place.
I will. Kohai, did you put Shadow's head on Brie Larson's body? Because that's kind of what that looked like. Those feet were huge.
I think that is Brie Larson. Because think about it. Okay, wait. Put the photo back up. Put the photo back up. Because
Oh, hold on just a second. I got to bring that back up. There we go.
Let's see. Big feet, no booty. Yeah, that's Brie Larson.
Yeah, that's man, Kohai, that's brutal. That's
Well, Kohai, she does yoga, so
that is brutal. I don't know what you're getting all mad at me about. I didn't make the damn thing. I just showed it to the world.
Shadow, you have all the same tools available to you.
That's true. That is true.
So
And for those of you out there who are looking to get into the memeing game, including Kohai, who I've talked to privately about this, the Legion of Memers, find them on Twitter, hit them up. Most of their DMs are open, including No Green Rocks, who is the founder and leader of the Legion of Memers. They are more than happy to help people get a better grasp on what they're doing and share tools and insight and knowledge about the meming game. They love seeing good memes out there. They love getting it out there, and they're always looking to improve people's meme games. So yeah, go check out Legion of Memers. A number of whom stream with our buddy Ryan and Joker Voice. So yeah, go check them out and hit them up if you're interested in getting into the meming game, because they know their business. she does. Yeah. Legion of Memers, definitely. I mean, you can try. We're 4th dimensional life forms, dude.
yeah,
Good luck.
His tentacles are everywhere, man, throughout the galaxy. So good luck with that. The temporal.
Hey, Squatch, good to see you, man. Sorry about missing your stream earlier. It was just yeah, I was still at work, man. I couldn't get away from that, and then literally I walk into my door at home, and 10 minutes later I got to be on here. So uh, I did not really have time, or I would have loved to chat with you today. You had
Yeah,
some
that's
interesting
true.
stuff going on today. His stream was pretty cool. There was a lengthy section about uh, earthquakes, tectonic plates, and historical earthquakes in the U.S. It was pretty interesting, actually. It kind of kept me riveted the whole time while I was doing
Well,
the job.
I've lived through some of them.
Mhm.
So they were even nice. The earthquakes were even nice enough to have one on my birthday. So,
That
so I
sounds
was like,
fantastic.
oh, it was horrible.
Well,
It was,
I mentioned in his chat. So about 25 years ago, I was in a place not too far from where I am now, and about 180 give or take miles away, there was a mine shaft that collapsed with enough force that I felt the earth shift for like a split second, just enough to be like, what the fuck was that? And it was interesting. But I think that's the closest I've been to an actual earthquake. I've been through a number of other disasters, fires, floods, been near avalanches, well, not earthquakes, but more than a few tornadoes, blizzards, all kinds of fun stuff.
yeah. Well, I've been through plenty of earthquakes, and they're nothing to laugh at. There's nowhere to run. You better hope that house that you're in is newer and sturdier. Because if it's not, that floor will let you know. I mean, when the earthquake that happened on my
Mhm.
birthday, the only thing that happened was a bottle of hot sauce flew out of the cabinet. Went over to my friend's house. His entire floor had caved in and was leaning to the side. It was crazy.
Yeah. Now, man, my house is half underground. If we get an earthquake here, I'm getting buried alive. That's just it. No. So, luckily for me, though, I'm pretty like y'all know that Yellowstone is the largest super volcano on planet Earth, right?
I do now.
Yeah, it's massive, and when it blows, should it blow, it's going to obliterate most of North America, like right off the gate with just the explosion, just the force of that alone, and it's going to kick up enough shit into the air that it will create effectively a 2-year long nuclear winter worldwide.
Thanks for the doom and gloom, Samuel.
Yeah. The good news is I'm close enough to it that I'm going to get vaporized right away and won't be choking on ash later, like the Chinese.
Again, thank you.
So,
And the
oh,
Chinese are already choking on air from their making all the materials and stuff that they make. So they're already
yeah.
choking on bad air.
Well, this will also choke the life out of all the plants, so there won't be any oxygen either. Um, it's going to be a bad time when and if that happens. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 50,000 years. It's already
Yeah,
like 8,000 years overdue.
yeah. Everybody, just if you haven't heard yet, just go on YouTube and type up REM's "It's the End of the World as We Know It" and just play it. And whenever you play it, just think about Samuel and everything that he tells us. You know, let's get in a plane. Oh man, maybe it'll crash.
Hey, Izzy, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, Suka, right now I am trying to pull that up. I'm having some issues with the internet here. So it's not new tabs are kind of being a bitch right now. I will figure that out and I'll have that information for you the next time we do a live which should be this Saturday. Hopefully, I will have that information for you. I'm not exactly sure how big it is. I know that the park itself is not the be all and end all of the size of the actual caldera of this thing, which goes into Idaho and Montana, as well as taking up a sizable chunk of western Wyoming. It's big. It's very big.
Well, there's your Saturday topic.
I was thinking about that too, actually, because like I said, I was listening to Squatch's channel earlier, and the earthquake topic actually kind of got me thinking about maybe a natural disaster kind of theme for this weekend because I find it fascinating.
Yeah, Ozzy says that he missed the California quake of '89 by 6 months. I didn't miss it. I remember that I was a child. I didn't miss
Wow.
that earthquake at all, and trust me, I knew that earthquake was going on. Believe I was in the same house that I was in when my birthday hit. That '89 earthquake was scary. That I was in my underwear running outside, trying to get out of the house, trying to run.
Oh,
So
actually, give me just a second. Kohai sent me a graphic that is better explainable about this, so I'm gonna try and load that up here, and we can take a look at it here in just a moment, few moments, what have you. So, 89 was a weird year, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. 89 was 89 was it was a tough one.
Okay, so all right, there's the image. Give me just a few minutes, and I will. Yeah, it was a strange year though, because that was also the year that the Berlin Wall came down,
Hmm.
which was cool, but it changed the face of the world and the power dynamics in it uh, pretty drastically. And what I thought was forever, but as it turns out, the ruble's making a comeback, so I could be wrong about that. Super exciting. All right, let me upload it to StreamYards here. All right, there we go. So I hope that helps answer your question a little bit, Suka.
Well, I'm safe.
I mean, from the
Um, Amira
immediate
is,
effects, sure.
well, actually, Amira is safe too.
Again, from the immediate effects, like this is like your kill zone, or that all that's just everybody in that range is just going to be dead immediately. Your primary ash zone, that'll be in the days and weeks that follow, people will end up being buried in that, much like Pompeii will. So you're going to end up with a bunch of dead people there eventually too. Secondary ash zone, same thing, but it takes longer. And you got to keep in mind that right through that kill zone, a big portion of the jet stream flows through there, so it's going to pick up a lot of that ash and it's going to carry it around the length of the world, as well as all
Mm,
the extra crap that gets kicked up in the atmosphere will eventually.
yeah, but I know how the airflow flows around where I'm at, and trust me, I'll be safe.
Well, not
Now,
forever.
now, now, if yeah, it'll be forever, forever, ever. Now, if it came from Canada, now that'd be a different story, because Canada win, and thank you, Ozzy, for that, by the way. But Canada air likes to come down and freeze the hell out of my state every year. So yeah, if it was in Canada, I'd be worried. But since it's you, and I'm willing to bet if this thing ever does blow, I'm willing to bet that it'll be your fault,
I mean, it could not be my fault too, but
because
sure.
only you would go over there, light some cobras on fire, and pour them down the hole or wherever, and and ignite that whole thing.
Yeah. Violence is life. I believe that has to do with airflow, and like I said, the jet stream, the way that the air currents move. Uh, so like, you remember when Fukushima did its thing and it tainted all that ocean water, and a bunch more of it went one way rather than the other way, and a lot of that had to do with the currents. Same thing with this; it's just in the air. Um, would be my guess on that. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. So, yeah, good to see you. Yeah, Squatch, you're right. Anybody who survives this is going to be deaf as shit because it'll be loud. You're going to
I
be
don't
able to
think
hear
Ca-
that from a ways away.
I don't think California would be safe, because with the earthquakes and everything, the way California rolls, I think the shock from the blast would ignite earthquakes left and right in that state and probably break it off right into the ocean.
I would be willing to bet that it jacks up because the continental divide goes right through there, man. So I would be willing to bet that because that's two separate tectonic plates that the lower 48 is sitting on. It'll split this continent right down the middle. It'd probably mess up the fault lines that are under the Mississippi River that I was learning about earlier. There's fault lines in Florida and Georgia, South Carolina. We know that there are at least a couple of fault lines in Mexico. California's fucked. So, so yeah, when that goes, it's going to seriously change the face of this part of the world. And if it's big enough, hey, maybe it'll knock us off our axis.
Yeah.
Which would
Hey,
cause all kinds of other problems.
let's get off the doom and gloom. You're taking the program right off into something else. I'm like, man, oh Lord, here we go. But that is I'll have to check Squatch's I'll have to check his stream because that does sound interesting. Maybe we can do that for next week. We'll find a whole bunch of just horrible stuff to put up and see if people just make it alive through it. Just
Mhm.
depress the hell out of everybody.
I
Death by Samuel.
that's a possibility. We could do something like that. I'd be
Yeah,
all
I'm
right
sure
with
you.
that. So yeah, the Black Hills will become the Blackened Hills. Yep. Yeah, I believe it.
Now, here's something. It's not anywhere near as powerful as what we just saw, but there you go. We don't talk about it. Fight Club. Now, Samuel, knowing you, this will probably be a scenario like what's the name of that movie? The Kingsman, where everybody, that signal goes through and everybody starts
Oh,
fighting,
right. The church scene.
right?
Yeah.
And then the volcano goes off and you disintegrate or you just turn full Cthulhu and tentacle your way through the whole, through what's left of the country
Right.
and just.
Hey, Midnight Horror. Speaking of tentacles.
But yeah, guys. So this apparently a fight club, an impromptu fight club, was started up by a bunch of spring breakers in Florida.
That seems. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're wrestling or hugging. Looks like they're wrestling.
That seems like mud wrestling without the mud.
Footballs, boxing gloves. I mean, these people can't. They can. Good night. She
Oh shit! She just clocked that girl, didn't she? Oh wow.
That's Kohai throwing a punch. Uh,
That is that's some rough stuff. So at least they got gloves on, I guess. I don't know. I
I don't think
hope
it
that.
made I don't think it made a difference to Kohai here.
Yeah,
These
I'd
guys
hope that
fighting
they got
masculine.
mouthpieces in, because otherwise they're gonna end up with a bunch of pretty kids with no teeth.
My question is, how did they get away with this without the cops? Because the police are usually driving. They're usually riding through this. They're usually catching spring breakers left and right doing stuff.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probable they don't care. I mean, that's I don't know why that's one of the shots.
I don't know.
And people wonder why the country's going to hell in a handbasket. This guys, this is the generation that's supposed to take over. They're up and
Yeah.
coming. They're going to be the new executives, the new politicians, the new librarians.
eh, You know what? A lot of these politicians, the people we have now, are doing this. I
Mhm.
guarantee you they're doing it somewhere, whether it be in the middle of the woods, a mansion, somewhere. We're just not hearing about it. But this has been that's been going on for a long time. But I do, however, want to see.
I'm curious, actually, if Florida's got mutual combat laws.
Maybe.
Because if that's the case, that would be why nobody's getting arrested, because they agreed to do this. Yeah, this is, they got rules.
Bing. Now see,
That one
he's
kid's
he's
fast.
carrying his he's carrying his left a little low.
Hi, deleted scenes. Good to see you.
Look at him. He's already cheating. He's resorting to grabbing.
Yeah. Wait, I mean, he lost his balance. I don't think he was grabbing him to grab him. I think he was trying not to fall over.
Well, I think they are drunk, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah. Michelle, yeah, that would be my guess is they're just letting off steam. I would be willing to bet that this is a willing thing. They're not like
No, no,
this isn't a grudge match. This is just a,
no.
hey,
This was planned.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I would I
No, Ozzy, I didn't
I
plan
don't
this.
think I did see that.
I never even. I haven't watched this, so yeah, I didn't know about this.
Okay, if that's the case, violence is life. If that's the case in Florida, then yeah, they're legally
Allowed to.
yeah, they're legally allowed to do this. So especially if it's an agreed upon thing and it's treated more as an unregulated sport. I could see them getting in trouble for unregulated sports conduct, but otherwise, yeah, it's
All right, this.
I'm impressed that she took that other girl down.
Okay, that
Like,
that was a little rough.
this is why weight classes are a thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she just knocked out. Oh, that was a letdown. I I thought she like outright clocked that girl.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Michelle. Yeah, it's Richard. Yeah, it is stupid, but I did so a while back, over a decade and a half ago, I did some amateur cage fighting, and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was for fun. I mean, nothing too serious. It was local circuit. None of it was televised. We didn't get paid. It was something we were just doing with the local people and promoters and gyms. And but I didn't get into it that way right away. I got into it by doing shit like this, like by me and my buddies beating the shit out of each other in our basement kind of thing. I got put through a wall once. That hurt, by the way. I lost that one. um, so I kind of get that, but yeah, you can. It is stupid, but it's also a lot of fun, especially if everybody is on board and they don't come away with hard feelings if it's not taken personally.
That's Sam before. That's when he was cage fighting before the
I'm not
beard.
that fucking old.
That's definitely you. Look. You had surgery right there.
I'm gonna say,
You went to Europe and something was taken out.
I'm
Go
gonna, I'm
ahead.
gonna say the same damn thing about Larry that I said about Carrie the other night. They're both older than I am. Not a lot,
Yeah,
but they are older than I am.
yeah, but I don't look it. But yeah, that's see you see that Sam, that's when you went to Europe right there. That's why you were bringing that up about waking up, in an ice bath. I see the little stitches.
No,
And
yeah,
Sam got that. He got that bulletproof chin. That's why he grew a beard. Don't tell him what the beard probably comes. It's like if you guys, it's like ZZ Top.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I've never been to Europe. Never been to Europe. No, I'm not an elderly. I'm 42. I'm not that fucking old.
That's old to Shadow.
Shadow's a baby.
Yeah, go for it, Shadow. You want to make Samuel a multi-tailed? Yeah, go for it.
I don't even know what a yuan ti is.
I don't either, but hey, it's not me. He's
This
doing it too.
I feel like this is something I should know. Is this out of Chinese mythology, or is this something out of a fantasy game that I'm not aware of? It's one of the two.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you go
Oh,
ahead and
it's a
look it up.
Forgotten Realm. It's a snake man. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
he's probably a Diamondback too.
You know
And he's
what?
probably on fire.
I got no control over any of this. Whatever.
Hey, did you ever see that meme that GIF I sent you the other day of the flaming cobra?
I think so. That was a Pokemon, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
It looked like something that one of my kids showed me one time. They were real into Pokemon, so it seems like something that probably crossed my desk at some point. But I could never remember any of their names, so I'd like make up names for them, which would drive my kids crazy. They'd
Yeah.
get super pissed at me.
Shadow do it and then give it to Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. I gotta admit that there are not that many memes of me yet. So you know what? Knock yourself out. Have fun.
Yeah, you say that now. Kohai's gonna get you. Cocaine steak.
I like the snowflake. That's a nice touch.
Hey, I want to ask you something. I want to ask you guys something. Those of you who are social media savvy, that you guys, kind of like to keep your ear to the ground, so to speak. I don't know if I don't know if you've heard about this, Sam. There's a trend that's been going on with with female TikTokers, right? And even Instagrammers. And what they're doing is they go to the gym, they film their workouts, right? But what's been happening over the last, I think, month or two? Hey, Ozzy says check your inbox.
Yeah, I saw it.
What's been happening over the last month or two is that some of these TikTokers, some of these Instagrammers, they were accusing other men in the gym of basically staring at them and accusing them of being perverts or stalkers and stuff. But some of these girls were changing their clothes like right out there in the open, like taking their tops off, you know. So of course, if you do that and you're around a bunch of guys, I mean, chances are they're looking at you like you lost your mind. Like, what are you, what are you doing that out here? Go to the locker room and do that. But I came across this, right? I came across this. I came across this video. Let me show it to you guys. I came across this.
Yeah, Richard L. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I saw the video myself. I don't remember if it was this morning or last night.
That, yep, this is the girl.
Hmm.
So she was talking smack, right? So, yeah, the world of social media can be a double-edged sword. While it has given us access to endless amounts of entertainment and valuable information, it has also created a platform for people to shame and bully others. One such example of this is the viral video of a female TikToker who accused a man of being a pervert for looking at her in the gym. She's taken off her shirt.
Yep, yep. Real
Right?
quick, Shadow. No, not to put too fine a point on it, but horse put out. These ladies are just going to the places looking to shame
Yeah,
men for being men,
yeah, they
and
are.
then getting
At first, I thought it was an accident, but I think it's a real thing that they're doing it to get clicks and views. And trying to get their name out, and you know, at the expense of these guys. But and it's funny too because as you see here in this video, which has since been deleted, shows a TikToker recording the man and claiming that he had been staring at her. She then proceeds to call him a pervert and berates him for his behavior. However, it's later revealed that the man was actually an employee at the gym and had the authority to have her criminally trespass and revoke her gym membership. Let's check this out.
Yeah, I watched this before. This is yeah, she had it coming. You got sound? No, there's no audio coming through, man. You still there, Larry? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
So
yeah, there was no audio coming through on that at all.
really,
Yeah, and I don't know if you were talking, but we couldn't hear anything you were saying either. I couldn't anyway.
I wonder what that's about. I might not have clicked on I might not have clicked on the audio. That's weird.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um.
basically what happened is, she was mouthing off to the guy. She was like, "Can I help? Do you need something? Do you need something? Do you need something?" And he's like trying to talk to her. He's like, "Hey, like I work here." She was like, "You don't own the gym." He was like, "No,
It's
I
like
work here. I can kick you out. I can kick you out and trespass you." He was like, "I could call the police and have you trespass, have you put out. Would
he
you like
got
that?"
he didn't start there though. He didn't go from 0 to 60. He tried to
No,
be nice about it, and then she just kept pushing.
yeah, I know. That's the point that I'm making. But she got what she deserved, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, this whole thing's been a trend for about a month or so now on TikTok, and like every time you see something like this, they go out there and they put themselves in positions to be stared at, and then they get mad when people aren't doing it, and somebody happens to glance their way one time, and they lose their shit. It's like, oh, this pervert over here, he's making eyes
Yeah,
at me and all this stuff. It's just it's
yeah.
retarded shit. They're looking for
I saw a
clout.
video a few weeks ago, and the guy wasn't even looking at the girl. He didn't look at her once.
Yeah, Suka, she did post it. That was her video.
Yeah, and of course she did post a follow up, um, saying that she got kicked out and trespassed. So found a way. She still found a way to get something off of it.
Yeah. Well, and violence is life. I agree. I think that that is a defining characteristic of up and coming generations, that they're all about attention and they don't care what kind of attention.
Nope.
And that's a damn shame. And this all this is just some stupid fucking trend. It'll blow over eventually, but right now, yeah, they're kind of coasting on that on the tail end of the failing Me Too movement, and like how much trouble can we make for the patriarchy, and they're trying to set guys up to fail. And
Yeah,
it's backfired a couple times. You see that one where that chick was she got herself into some serious trouble with the bar.
with the police. Yo,
No,
over
no,
in
no,
over in the
not
UK,
with
right?
not with the police. No, I'm talking about like she was trying to lift a bar with plates on it that were too heavy for her, and nobody was spotting her.
Oh yeah, and
'Cause
she
like a
died.
dumbass, and then no, this one didn't die. Somebody did it, it's all on video. She got out of there, but, it was a very near thing, and the dudes were not coming over to help her because even though she was like, "Help, help, help," because she had set them up to, like, she had the camera up and all that stuff, and, to be fair, this could have been an exception to that, but I don't think that it was, and I think that she was trying to pull the same kind of shit, and she bit off more than she could chew, and because guys are sick of being, targeted for this kind of thing, no one would come near her
Hmm.
for fear that they would be, and like it almost cost her her damn life, So I would put this out there to you, TikTok ladies. Is it fucking worth it? Really?
Yeah, and there's also videos out there of women getting attacked on buses. Like one woman was raped on a was well, let me see, raped on a on like a not a train, but when you get on a tram or whatnot, nobody would help this girl. They didn't want to get involved. And women are being attacked now. It's like in some cases, where a guy has stepped in, then the girl turned on them. Next thing this guy knows, he's in trouble or he's in some kind of mortal danger. So it's just it's horrible. It's horrible, and all because you have girls like this one that are setting guys up and are doing things just to get just like I said, just to get clicks, just to get views.
Yeah. And that's all the only real reason anybody does anything anymore is to get clicks and to get views. It's all about that cloud. Internet cloud is the only currency that young people recognize.
Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, and they don't realize that the real world, nobody cares about that stuff. You know, I mean, people do, but I look at social media, and of course, not like the people that we come around, but when I see all the silly stuff, I look at it like uh, how Denzel Washington's character in Training Day, how he looked at the newspaper. You remember? I'm sure you saw Training Day. You remember what he said with the newspaper when he was talking to Hoyt, the guy that he was training for the day, right? And he go,
Hmm.
this is a newspaper. It's 98% BS, but it entertains me.
Right.
So when I'm watching stuff, whether I'm watching on YouTube or whatnot, I take that same mentality, because and I try not to get wrapped up, in the whole thing because, you know, a lot of YouTubers are doing things for them is content. And I've seen videos where, other YouTubers were like, hey, these people were faking because I was there and they were showing receipts. So I do understand that, not every video that we see, and you can't expect, to believe it all because some of these things that I see them doing is like, this is illegal. This will get you put in prison. This will get you put in jail. There's no way that this is raw. But some of them, some of them have been stupid enough to do stuff. Um, there was a group of prankers, guys that were going around doing pranks, and this guy would run over to, how you see guys walk around with their pants sagging around their butt cheeks, and he would run up with a belt, and he was pulling their shorts and their pants up. He come from behind them, pull their pants up, and then try to give him a belt. Well, he got the mess slapped out of him. Some other guy walks up behind him, slaps him, knocks him down, and then the guy whose pants he grabbed and pulled up, then that guy beat him up. And you think he learned his lesson from that? He didn't. He went back out there and did it to somebody else, and a gun fell out of the guy's shorts. So,
Yeah.
you know, um,
Yeah. Hey, Shadow, I did check my DMs. So he went and made a meme of me, which honestly, I'm cool with this. This I like. I actually kind of
well,
like
let's
this
see
one.
it.
That's not bad, man. That's not bad work.
Yeah, it's not bad. Although all the muscles and stuff, that's no, I'm just gonna. I was gonna say it's definitely not you.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm about as toned as a guy who's thin can be, but you know. So, but
You're in
yeah,
good shape.
I got a pretty thin frame, so I'm not like you know all that. But yeah, that was not too bad. I think that was pretty good for an outing there. Oh, here we go. All right. So, first thing I gotta ask, man, I gotta ask, is this full of like inside jokes like the last one was?
No,
Okay.
no. Um, and to my chagrin, the last one was it was full of so many inside jokes that the legit questions that I had in there, like it was like almost half the answers were wrong because I forgot to put the right answer on there. So I was like, okay, we're gonna scratch this one. I still have to go back and fix it. But this is the official. This is the official first first of a series of quizzes. You know, um, and I've written down. This was actually, I wouldn't say hard, but it's more challenging than I thought it would be because you're trying to come up with questions from scratch, and then you've got to research and find stuff, and then you got to give more than one answer, and you want to make sure. Like me, I try to. I don't want to just. I don't want to make it too difficult, but I don't want to make it too easy either. So a lot of times, I'll have questions where, you know, two two could be complete, two questions, two answers could be right, but I'll alter something so, you know, it's almost right but not quite because I've altered it. But we'll see. We'll see how you do that. We'll see how you do this time around. And chat, hey. You guys feel free to help us. Feel free to help Sam out. I would help, but of course, I know the answers. I even tested myself just to see if I can remember it back, and I beat it within 2 minutes. I remembered everything. So I was like, yeah, I can't even.
Hey, Muggsy, good to see you.
Hey, it's Muggsy. Hey,
And
Muggsy.
good night, Squatch. Thank you for hanging out, man.
Yeah. So anyway,
Also,
anyway.
Shadow. Once again, thank you for hanging out. Have a good night.
All right, let's get this going. You ready?
I mean, as I'll ever be, I suppose.
All right. Holidays. What religion does the holiday Navaratri belong to?
That sounds fairly Hindu, which is one
It's
of the
Hindu.
options. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay, correct. A drink called Smoker's Cough is made of what ingredients? Starwort, Australian whiskey, lemon juice, Chinese five spice honey syrup, beer and milk, Jägermeister and mayonnaise, vodka, Bloody Mary mix, and a spoonful of cottage cheese.
I'm gonna go with the Starward Australian whiskey. I've never heard of anybody making a drink called a smoker's cough before, but that seems like it would put somebody into fits.
It's the Jägermeister and mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's also gross, but I would think more projectile vomit with that.
While filming, this actress almost drowned to death in front of her castmates and crew who thought she was only acting.
Huh.
Yeah, Richard, Jaeger and mayo. And by the
Is
way,
is is
all four of those options, those were real drinks. Anyway,
yeah. I'm gonna go with Isla Fisher. Now you see me.
boom. All of these useless facts are true, but which is the correct answer for this question? Napoleon's penis was sold to an American urologist for $40,000. Dolphins can give each other names. Dolphins do give each other names. It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. The electric chair was invented by a dentist.
All right, so this is one of those. There's not enough information in the fucking question. um, this is just a guess and see if you're right kind of
That's the
thing.
way I made it. So it's a blind guess.
All right, Napoleon's penis.
Nope, dolphins.
Hmm.
Because I knew you were gonna go for that one if I put it up
It
there.
seems like the obvious choice. I know your sense of humor.
Okay. Movie plot: a killer hides himself among his victims. All of these are right, but which one is correct?
Identity.
Oh,
I don't know.
you were close though, because at first I was gonna put Identity.
Identity's a damn good movie if y'all haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, it is. My buddy of mine, he hated it, but I was like, this movie's great. Movie plot: a man takes part in a life experience only to wonder what is real and what is fake when his life is turned upside down. Stay, The Game, Memento, Total Recall.
Well, I've only seen 3 of those, but I'm gonna go with The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. Good
Boom.
movie, also, guys.
And it's also the plot for Total Recall too.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
fall for it. Suka fell for it though.
Well, that's the beginning of the plot. Yeah, that one gets a little crazier.
Okay. As of 2023, this university holds the number one spot in the nation with a score of 96.8 in research and employability. Harvard, Yale, UCLA, Stanford.
I have no fucking idea, man. Stanford.
Is that your final?
I just said I have no idea, so I just threw a name out there.
I'm giving you a chance.
All right, go with Yale then.
No, Harvard.
Yeah, I don't like saying Harvard for anything. Fuck those people.
Okay. Possibly a rarity in the rock and roll scene. This singer has managed to stay married to one person and drug free their entire career. Mick Jagger, Dave Grohl, which is from the
Foo
Foo
Fighters and
Fighters.
Nirvana.
John Bon Jovi and Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm going with John Bon Jovi.
Yep. I mean, the man said he sang "Living on Prayer," right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The movie character Warren personally shared this drink with a group of his patrons, causing them all to choke. Cognac, Hardy Perfection, Flame Fire, 40-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, Chartreuse, 1964 Black Bowmore.
Again, not enough information to go off of here.
Well, let's wait
Is
for the chat because I seem to be jumping ahead of them.
yeah. I had this one. I got no idea. The only Warren character I'm thinking of that comes to mind was from Empire Records, and he was too young to drink, but he did shoot up the store. So looks like Kohai says chartreuse. Everybody else is saying I don't know. So we'll go with Kohai then.
Kohai is correct.
Hmm.
It was from Death Proof. Warren was Quentin Tarantino's character, the bartender.
Fair enough. I never actually watched that because I don't much care for Tarantino.
Huh. Yeah, it's just because he likes feet. Anyway,
I think his movies suck, but okay.
I don't think so, but all right. Who sung this lyric? Knowing love the way I do, I can say for certain that is true. There's a chance for me and you. Al Jarreau, Whitney Houston, Frank Sinatra, Luther Vandross.
I don't know Al Jarreau, but that kind of sounds like a Luther Vandross line.
Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch the Grindhouse stuff. I like Robert Rodriguez. Okay, I just don't care for Tarantino much. There's a few things he did that I do like, but for the most part, no, not so much.
So Violence says you're probably seeing the chat faster than me because I'm looking at it from our POV.
Yeah, there's
It's kind
there's
of
there's a about a 2 second half a second delay on the
B.
StreamYard side.
B says I don't know. That's not an option.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's Luther Vandross. That sounds like something
All
he would
right,
say.
it is. I'm a southern. I'm a southerner in the first quadrant. Hercules and I are in the same family. Pisces, Ursa Major, Lynx, Hydrus.
Hydrus.
Boom. Mhm. Movie plot. Guests at a hotel meet their end one by one
Yes, I have.
by a killer. Psycho, Dahmer, Gacy, Identity.
I'm gonna go with Identity this time because
Hey.
I watched Psycho recently, and only one of the people who lost their lives to Norman Bates actually checked
Right.
in.
Although one move, although one move is often said to be an actor's big screen debut, it was actually an uncredited movie with a deceased Hollywood legend. Bruce Willis, First Deadly Sin, Wesley Snipes, Major League, Jaleel White, Who Made the Potato Salad, Clint Eastwood, Six Bridges to Cross.
Well, Wesley Snipes was one of the main characters in Major League, so that's out. As he played Willie Hayes Mays, I think. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Let's go with Clint Eastwood, Six Bridges to Cross.
No, Bruce
Nope.
Willis.
Ozzy, you were dead on.
Ozzy had it.
Yeah.
While filming a scene on a rainy day, a helicopter flew over a singing actress, causing the downdraft from its jet engines to fling her into the mud repeatedly. Julie Andrews, The Sound of Music, Judy Garland, The Wizard of Oz, Debbie Reynolds, Singing in the Rain, or Marilyn Monroe, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
The obvious choice would be Debbie Reynolds, but I'm gonna go with Julie Andrews.
Bingo! Sound of Music knocked her right off the cliff.
Yeah.
Movie fact: Bill Murray played a newsman stuck in the time loop on Groundhog Day. How long was his character stuck in the time loop? 15 years, 330 days, or 50, excuse me, 15,330 days, which is 42 years. 36,588 days, which is 100 years, 88 days. 4,500 days, which is 12 years, 120 years, or 12,395 days, which is 33 years, 350 days.
I don't know, man. That they never explicitly stated in the movie.
Not in the movie, but the director did years later. The director did in an interview say exactly how long he was in there, and somebody managed to get it down.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ozzy on this one, but Suka and Violence's Life are both saying 12 years, so we'll go with that.
Nope, 33 years.
Huh.
During one of his comedy slash music routine in the 1980s, Kenny Moore's performance was interrupted by a heckling couple. What happened next? Kenny broke his guitar over the head of the male heckler. Some fans attacked the couple and the police were called. Nothing happened. The couple were a part of Kenny's act, or Kenny continued the show while the couple was escorted out.
1980s, huh? I could go with either the first one or the last one. Either broke a guitar or nothing happened. The 80s was a wild time. It could go either way.
Kenny Moore, Ozzy's trying to look it up.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain who he is either. So, let's go with broke his guitar.
Bingo.
Nice.
As of 2022, this university has produced the most active NFL players with a count of 58. Ohio State University, Louisiana State, Alabama, or Notre Dame.
I'm going to defer to Chad on this one. I don't know fuck all about college football. Yeah, I don't know who it was either. It quite possibly was a regional then. Ozzy's saying LSU. So's Violence's Life. So's Suka. Kohai says Alabama.
Okay. So everybody's saying LSU, so majority rules. No, it was Alabama.
Good on you, Kohai.
Month, January. Right ascension, 5 hours, 20 minutes. Declination, -63, and it was like a circle and one. Indus, Apis, Dorado, Norma.
The declination minus 63 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no idea. I don't have any idea what this is about.
Well, pick one.
All right. Norma.
Dorado. While calling him a racist, this actor tried to strangle his movie director following a misunderstanding with a garbage T-shirt another person was wearing. Jamie Foxx, Dennis Haysbert from Major League Two,
Yeah, I know
Morgan
who it is.
Freeman, or Wesley Snipes.
Uh
Violence had it. He had a Dorado.
oh, nice. Yeah, should have waited on that. But Jamie Foxx has been pretty vocally not about calling people racists. So is Morgan Freeman. So neither one of them. Wesley Snipes used to get up to some shenanigans, but I don't think that sounds like him. And I don't know enough about Dennis Haysbert to know otherwise. So I'm going to go with Dennis Haysbert.
Wrong. It was Wesley.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
This constellation is best seen during the fall season just before winter. Lepus, Scorpius, Andromeda, Ursa Minor.
Andromeda.
Andromeda. Rum, mint, lime, sugar, club sugar. What drink does this make? Classic
Mojito.
daiquiri, hurricane, criollo, cocktail, mojito.
Mojito.
Mojito. I live on the north. My family is a zodiac. It's best to catch me at the end of the year. Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, Sagittarius.
Let's go with Capricorn.
Nope,
Nope.
Aries. This form of alcohol is available at 151 and 151 and 190 proof with a percentage of 75.5 and 95% respectively, making
It's
it the
Everclear.
most powerful drink available to the public.
It's Everclear.
Everclear. Okay.
Yeah,
For a
you can clean engines with that shit, man.
yeah, for for a movie role, this actor paid a dentist $5,000 to make his teeth look horrible, then paid another $20,000 to have his teeth restored after filming the movie. Charlie Sheen, Gene Hackman, Robert De Niro, or Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
Wrong. Robert De
Really?
Niro. Yep.
Huh.
Movie plot: a writer records the life of an influential man until he dies. Tombstone, Citizen Kane, Lucky Number 11, The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Well, it wasn't Lucky Number 11. It wasn't Tombstone. I haven't seen Citizen Kane in a very long time, but I think that's probably it because The Talented Mr. Ripley was a whole other can of worms.
Let's
So
see
yeah,
what the chat says. Get the chat a chance to catch up. Ozzy says Kane. Anybody else? Okay, Kohai says Kane.
Mhm.
Violence says Kane. Okay, Tsuka says Kane.
Yeah, I think they're all correct.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, again, it's been many years since I've seen
Kane.
Citizen Kane, but yeah.
Kane was already dead. I thought. Okay, so he was already
Oh,
dead.
that's an interesting point. I don't know. I don't think The Talented Mr. Ripley was about a guy who weaseled his way into somebody else's life by pretending to be somebody he wasn't. Tombstone is obviously about the gunfight in the OK Corral and the aftermath of that. And I've watched that one and Lucky Number 11 very recently. Neither one of them have a writer recording anybody's shit. So it's got to be Citizen Kane or The Talented Mr. Ripley, and I'm leaning towards Citizen Kane.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Wrong. It was Tombstone. The one with Clint Eastwood. Gene Hackman's character, Little Bill, was being followed around by a writer who was writing his story until Clint Eastwood's character killed him.
Clint Eastwood wasn't in Tombstone.
Yes, he was. There was two Tombstones. Clint Eastwood did his own called Tombstone. There's two of them.
Huh.
His had nothing to do with the OK Corral. It had nothing
Yeah.
to do with it.
Yeah, in that case, I've never seen
Yeah,
it. It
you've
must
never
have been
seen
one
it.
of those Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns that I never caught.
Actually, it was pretty good. Which useless fact is real? Go isn't a complete sentence in the English language. Queen Elizabeth II was a trained mechanic. Apple seeds contain traces of anthrax. 30 people choke to death on ballpoint pens every year.
Queen Elizabeth II was a train mechanic.
Okay. The ballpoint pens was true. I changed the number. I think it's like 100 people. 100 I think it's like 100 people die chewing ballpoint pens every year. No, Ozzy was right. That was Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Yeah, I screwed that one up.
yeah. That's there's there. I was dead
I
sure
could have
that
sworn there was two Tombstones.
no, there are other movies about the OK Corral, but only one of them is called
Only one of
Tombstone.
them. Yeah. Yes, that's my bad. So that's another one I have to change. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. So I won't count that against you. The leader of this group wrote this song after observing a homeless man struggling to live. The song is a plea for help, a cry for justice. Pearl Jam, Even Flow, Run DMC, Hard Times, Arrested Development, Mr. Wendell, Megadeth, Breadline. I'll give you a hint. All four of these are about homeless, but only one of the leads of this group actually physically saw a homeless man suffering out in the street, and that inspired him to make that song.
That sounds like something Dave Mustaine would do. So I would go. My first instinct is Megadeth, but it could have been Run DMC too. I don't really know that much about Arrested Development though.
Well, they're a one-hit wonder.
Well, that would be why I don't know that much about them. But
Yeah, they had like one record.
yeah, that. Then again, Pearl Jam is also known for taking stories directly out of headlines and from their own experiences and writing songs about them. I mean, that's like kind of their whole shtick.
So what she choose?
Fuck it, Megadeth. Yeah.
Which one? Oh, Megadeth.
Yes.
Nope, Pearl Jam.
Huh.
Holidays. The name of this holiday is derived from a root that means scorching heat. Mother's Day, Midsummer, Ramadan, Bodhi Day.
Well, I mean, depending on what kind of mother you have. No, I'm just kidding. uh, I don't know. It's not Midsummer and it's not Mother's Day. Or maybe it is Midsummer. No, it's not. No, it's not because that's a yeah. That's a whole other thing. Whole other
Violence
kind of
says
worms.
Midsummer. Sukkah says Midsummer. Ozzy says Bodhi.
Uh, yeah. I'm thinking. I'm going with Ozzy on this one.
Bodhi.
Yeah, because I think I remember Kat bringing up what Ramadan meant, and it wasn't that.
Kohai Bodhi Day. Wrong. It is Ramadan.
Really?
Yes. One is fact, three are false. Vodka freezes at negative 16.52 degrees Fahrenheit. It's illegal to get your own fish drunk in Ohio. The drinking age in most of the world is 21. Alcohol affects your cells within 75 seconds of your first sip.
It's illegal to get your own fish drunk in Ohio.
Correct.
That one was
Holiday.
just way out there, so I'm like, yeah, that's got to be it.
Holidays. This country celebrates St. Basil's Day in honor of the traditional Father Christmas figure, Basil of, say, Caesarea.
Kaiseria, yeah.
Caesarea.
Uh,
Caesarea.
huh.
Portugal, Greece, Brazil, or Spain?
I would go with probably Greece. It's the closest to Rome, and that sounds very Roman.
Okay. Suka says Brazil. Ozzy says Brazil. Kohai says poor fish. He just wants to party and get drunk.
I don't know. I guess they're saying Brazil. They probably everybody's saying Brazil. Go with Brazil.
All right. You were correct. It was Greece.
Huh.
You got half right, half wrong.
It is
That's
what it
not bad.
is.
That's not bad.
I that's a fair question, I think. Is it okay to get someone else's fish drunk?
No, it's not. You could even own the fish yourself, and you could be in your own property, and you could be arrested for getting your fish drunk on your property.
Yep. Apologies, Ozzy. I misread that. You got 100% right. Well, that's, I mean, goals, right? Well, that was I will say that was quite a bit better than last week's on account of like that last week's was just full of inside jokes. you know, but yeah, some of that though, like I don't know if I like the ones where it's just like here's a bunch of answers, pick one.
Well, I did it on purpose to try to make you think, but it's trial and error too. I'm really trying to see what works, and honestly, I didn't. you know, I kind of didn't like him either. I was like, well, if I was the one taking this, I mean, you're being forced to really make a blind guess.
Mhm.
So you're basically being set up to fail.
Yeah, because you've got like a 25% chance of being correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know math. I do math good. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I have trouble with blind guesses and all that. I feel like I require more information before I can answer.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, check this out.
Yeah, Violence is Life. We actually we don't do it every show on Thursdays, but we have a fair number of quizzes that come up. A lot of the ones that Larry pulls up are actually made by someone else, but he's recently dipped into creating his own, which tonight was the second go round on that.
Yeah, and we'll mix it up because there's some really good ones out there. Um, I've also come across quizzes where there was no answer at all.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well, there's no answer. So mistakes do happen, but just somebody get
I don't think you drink, do you?
no,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
I do. Yeah.
I'll admit, like halfway through, because I started on that quiz yesterday, and I was like half asleep when I did it.
Mhm.
So, um, hence the mistakes.
No, no worries, man. Like you said, trial and error will go this around. Hey, Violence is Life. That's good for you, man. That's awesome. I don't drink often, and when I do, it's almost exclusively socially, and I no longer allow myself to get uncontrollably drunk. So not for some time. So we have discussed that. I am not a Mormon, raised in it, not one of them. So, although I do agree with their stance on coffee, mostly because that shit's nasty.
Let's see. Let's see if you can hear this. Can you hear this?
No.
That's odd. Well, really, you don't need to hear it to see what happened. Just kind of, these guys are just talking, and they're podcasters. They're saying, "Hey, thanks for tuning in."
Oh, I think I made Muggsy mad. Oh shit. Yeah, that was pretty close. Yeah. Muggsy, it's a personal choice. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. I never have. There's nothing you can do to coffee to make it taste good, in my opinion. Which, hey, look at the bright side. That just means more coffee for you, right? So, so they were just like ending a stream or something like that, and some guy pulled in too far behind them.
They were ending their stream. They were at a cafe, and this random car just comes out of nowhere. It's and just, I mean, if that guy was going any faster, he would have killed him.
Yeah, that's I'm kind of surprised that it stopped where it did, because it doesn't look like the frame that the window is in is stopped that at all. He would have kept going. There was nothing stopping him but the brakes.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. There wasn't. I've got to
So
figure out what's going on with
yeah, they were. You know what? That might have been shock, man. That
I
could have been
definitely was
shock.
shocked.
I've come pretty close to death a few times in my life, and it doesn't always register immediately. Sometimes it's like down the line, minutes, maybe hours later, you're like, Jesus Christ, I almost died. But at first it's just like, oh, okay. And, so yeah, that's probably what that was just shock. That'd be my guess anyway. Either that or they welcomed death and they were just pissed that he didn't finish the job.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I just
I
said
don't
that
know,
because
man.
Larry's been on me about being too gloomy.
But too is that I'm trying to figure out. Here's another one. This landlord crashes a 2-year-old's birthday party, demanding the rent 5 days early. Can you hear that?
No, no volume at all, man.
What is going? Oh well.
Did you click the share sound box when he shared?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, no idea.
I'll try it again. I'm wondering if something was done to the video itself so that you can't hear it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That
seriously.
sucks, man. Yeah. I've been clipped a few times, but I've never been like full on hit. And I honestly every time was my own fault. I did a lot of jaywalking in my youth. That's nuts, Suka.
Wow.
It just sort of roll. Did somebody forget to set the parking brake or something?
Something.
That's look at the bright side, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's something from there. They're not hearing anything either.
It's my output, so how do I fix that?
I would just
I guess settings. Hold on. It's probably settings.
mhm.
Audio. Echo cancellation.
That's intense, Ozzy. Yeah, that is intense. I've had a few moments like that myself. Found where the sidewalk ended one time, and as it turns out, it ended in 5-lane oncoming traffic.
Oh,
Still
that's
don't know
not
how I
good.
survived that because I blacked out. So, oh, they pressed the gas instead of the brake. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
that
so
that drift though.
yeah. No, well,
That drift.
that the car that landed on the picnic bench that Suka was talking about. Apparently, somebody pressed gas instead of brake and went.
Went
That's
flying.
yeah. That's a close call, buddy.
Okay. Well, that unfortunately kills the rest of my videos because I had two videos. I had two videos left after the crazy landlord. One was this lady in Canada who was upset because she refused medical help for her son because none of the doctors that were on staff at the time, none of them were white. And she said she was like, "You need to find me a white doctor. I don't want anybody with brown teeth and and you know, and I want somebody that can speak English fluently." And they were like just going off on this lady. And they're like, "Your child needs medical attention, and you won't let us help your child because we don't have a white doctor on staff."
Hmm. Yeah, that's
That's when you sent Ozzy over there. Now this one, actually this one, guys. Now I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna show this. This is real. This is not a joke. If you guys, I'm putting out this disclaimer right now. If I would say if you're squeamish, but this is a warning for what you're about to see because there's two videos on here. You don't even need to hear the audio for this. But this is a warning. You guys are about to see something that's going on in New York, and some of you might know what these street vendors are doing. But it's one thing to hear about it, and it's a whole other thing to see it. So Muggsy, all of you, just
This isn't gonna get us. Oh, was it? It was cats. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, there's not really enough meat on those things anyway. They're too stringy. But
They're cooking rats, man.
oh, those are rats. Those are huge. That's a big damn rat. I thought they were cats at first.
No, they're cooking rats.
Yeah, I mean, those are big rats. They've probably a couple meals worth in each of them.
So what's going on is that New York is they're being almost completely overrun with rats, and so the city is now devoting millions of dollars to getting rid of these things. And so now what's happening is a lot of street vendors are saying, "F it, we're gonna cook them and we're gonna eat them." And Suka, that's exactly what some of the people are trying to say. They said it tasted like chicken.
I've had
There's
rat.
one
It's not that bad.
you can have all the rat. You can have all the rats in New Orleans. You can have all the rats in New York, California, Ohio, Chicago, New Mexico, wherever they're at. You can have them all, Sam.
Man, meat is meat. You know?
I'm not. I'm not. No.
And
I'm
let's
good.
face it, those rats, those New York rats, they would not hesitate to eat you first.
True,
That's how I think of it. I was like, if they
but
would not hesitate to eat me, they're fair game.
listen, these things appear to be getting roasted raw.
That
I'm wondering if they've even been hollowed out. I mean, the giblets, everything is probably still in there.
yeah, it didn't look like they bothered to gut and clean them, which is unfortunate. But
They just
you
skin.
know,
They just skinned them. They just
yeah.
got the
But I
fur off
mean,
of them.
you look at the size of them, and they got some pretty good size, like drumsticks on their legs there. So it's not like there isn't meat on them. And rats tend to be a little bit uh, beefier than cats do. Anyway, I know I mentioned cats earlier, but yeah, Suka, they do eat nasty stuff, but fucking so do people. you know, I mean, people eat some awful things too, and not necessarily like you know
Off each other.
yeah, there's that too. But I mean, yeah, it's there's that too. That's disgusting. But yeah, just think of all the prepackaged, pre-processed, everything that we eat that comes packaged in like 500 different kinds of toxic plastic. I mean, a rat can't possibly be worse than that.
Yeah, Ozzy, we've heard about it. We've been we've been keeping track of what's going on. What Adams is doing over there. In fact, he's been blaming woke Democrats for what's going on in New York. He's blaming Democrats for it.
Yeah, bingo, Ozzy.
Yep,
Rat burger is better
demolition
than
man.
veggie burgers by far. It's certainly better than soy burgers. It's certainly going to be better than the chitin burgers we'll be getting soon. So, yeah, ramen is at least American ramen. I can't speak for necessarily Asian ramen. There are certain things that you can do with that. They're much more nutritious than we get here. But the stuff we get here is just empty fucking calories. There's no nutritional value in the ramen noodles you buy off the shelf. None. It'll
Nope,
keep you
that's just
alive, but it won't actually keep you healthy.
nope, that's just to fill your stomach.
Mhm.
It's a stopgap.
Yeah. So I mean, I lived off this shit for 3 years in a row because I had to. But trust me, you are not. You'd be better off hunting down rat, because at least there's nutrients in them. So yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Chitin burgers. We can't physically digest chitin. We're not built for it. We don't have the right digestive systems for that. Which, surprise, surprise, is what all bugs are coated in. So I mean, it's what makes up their exoskeletons. So yeah, it's I'm going to actually. I am curious about that. We'll ask Kat that. Remind me, Ozzy. We'll ask Kat that Saturday.
I'm
And
sure Amira will say that it's haram, but we'll
well,
ask her. We'll ask her in our meeting tomorrow.
Amira is. I gotta say, Amira is.
Amira ain't no rat.
She wouldn't eat rat if it was halal.
Hell no.
She wouldn't do it if it was halal. So she's very particular about what she eats. But I don't know that it's necessarily haram. So I'm gonna ask Kat because if she doesn't know, I'm sure she knows someone who does. I'm sure Amira does too, but she won't even entertain the question. So
Yeah, she would look at us like we're nuts. Like, what? Why would you even ask that?
Yep. So yeah, it's possible that it can cause all kinds of other physical problems, but even just on the basic level, even if it doesn't, like you're saying here, build up in our system, which I believe that you're right, I believe it will, but even if it doesn't do that, it'll just pass through you. You're not going to gain anything from it, you know. So, uh, yeah, she can afford real beef. That's true.
I'll
Um,
eat snake before I eat rat.
I don't believe that a reptile is honor. I don't know if reptile is haram or not. I think that, I mean, the stuff inside bugs you can eat.
Just
You just
fry up
can't
some
eat the other stuff.
diamondbacks and snake. Well, we know Samuel knows how to do that. He'll roast them right off his car, that axle.
There are better ways to prepare rattlesnake. Just saying,
See, see, guys,
and a
I
whole lot
told
less trouble. You know, the easiest thing to do is to make stew out of them. Oh, you can just boil them in a pot for 24 hours. The meat will fall right off the bones. And then you fish the skeleton out, toss that aside, and then you can do whatever else you want to do with the meat. You can make patties out of it. You can roast it up. I mean, rattlesnake's good. It's very good.
you are the
Yep. Yep. Violence is life. Bingo. Alligator tail is amazing. So
you
yeah.
are the Bubba Gump of snakes. You can saw it, fry it, saute it. You can freeze dry it. You can make snake jerky out of it. You
That's
can
all.
fillet it. You can
That
pickle it. Uh, uh,
you can do all those things with rattlesnake. I mean, it's a good meat for that. You just have to be careful, like all reptile, when you prepare it. Treat it like chicken because you got to make sure it's thoroughly cooked. You got to make sure that it doesn't, the raw meat doesn't contact with anything that's going to go into your mouth. Make sure you wash your hands, thoroughly. But otherwise, yeah, treat it
we
like
gotta cut the
raw
head off
chicken.
too, because that's where the damn venom is.
Well, by the time you get to the cooking phase, that's already done.
Didn't
You
sound
know,
like it.
you also want to cut the rattle off because you can't process that either. Um, you know, that's the same problem, Ozzy. Tarantula
Ugh.
has chitin in its exoskeleton, so you can't eat that either. How? Uh, at least you could do it once or twice, maybe as a treat once in a while, but you can't live off of them um, because of the chitin. However, they are bigger and they do have more goo inside them that is edible.
Oh, come on, dude. I don't want to. And I hate spiders. Ugh.
It's a delicacy in the South. Uh, chocolate covered grasshoppers, deep fried grasshoppers, that kind of thing. I mean, you can eat them. You just don't want to make it your staple food. So, yeah,
Just eat
yeah.
crabs and crawfish.
Same difference, man. You break them open and you eat the meat inside. You don't eat the shell.
Roadkill Cafe with Samuel.
What meat is meat, guys? I will
then why
happily
then why didn't you pick up the rattlesnake that you drove off with and,
because
and
he
cook it?
lived. He was still alive. I didn't want to get bit. He was not only alive, but he was probably really testy at that point. Oh. Hey, good to see you, man. Have a great night.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
But folks, we have reached the end. Thank you guys for coming by. Thank you for sticking with us. I mean, next week. So next week won't be another quiz until March. Excuse me, until April. Uh, but tonight it's been really fun. I'm gonna have to figure out why those videos weren't playing with the audio. What about the others? When I played the Beach Fight Club, could you hear that?
No, but you had that muted.
Oh, did I? It
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
supposed
you
to be.
you you you'd said you muted that one for no, actually there was no audio for
No.
that either. I was thinking of the trailers earlier. There was one trailer that I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
I
muted
muted.
the
But
trailer because I
yeah,
didn't want any
but no,
music.
there was there was no sound with the Beach Fight Club either.
Okay, but that had music in it too,
Hmm.
so I'm glad that you didn't hear it. Um,
Hey, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. Before we get too much further, I will plug Saturday's show, Screaming into the Void, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a bigger panel show than this. This show, Abyssal Musings, is me and Larry with occasionally with a special guest. But that one's a bigger panel show. It gets a little crazier. It's a lot less structured, and it's a lot of fun. So, and all
Kohai's
that.
got jokes.
Kohai's always got jokes.
I don't know, Kohai. What do you call a dog that can do magic?
Oh man, Suka, that sucks. I used to get bats that would because I lived in an unfinished basement at the time, and they would get into a hole in the outside wall and find their way inside my house, and so I'd always have to catch the damn things. And half the time they'd bring ticks or bed bugs in with them. Fucking pests, bats. Oh, and 1 out of every 10 is rabid, or at least carries the rabies virus.
Yeah, you
So
don't want to get bit with that because by the time you realize you've got rabies, it's too late.
a labracadabra. Oh, it's good. Oh man, that's good.
That was hilarious. But anyway, guys, this for me. Thank you for joining us this week. Hey, guys, thank you for the viewership. I was shocked
Mhm.
to find out that our last stream actually beat Samuel's Saturday show. I was shocked.
It did.
Um,
It
it,
did.
it, it's really given us some hope, guys. And we like I said, we appreciate you sticking with us through our show and really through Saturday. Um, but every week, Sammy and I we get together when we're trying to find different things to entertain you guys. Like I said, my our goal, uh, you know, our goal is to find out what you guys like, and we don't want to spam you with it. So that's why we said the quizzes are going to be once a month because we don't want to spam you with them, but we do want to fill out the different weeks with something else. So we're trying to bring you some new stuff. Good Lord, Ozzy.
I have heard that one, Ozzy, but it's still good.
But anyway, that's my outro.
Yep. So every Thursday you can find Lawrence Knight and myself here. Occasionally we'll have a special guest. Sometimes it's not often though on this one. Mostly it's just him and I. And it's a fun show. We do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Um, our quizzes are kind of they're not a new addition, but the direction that we're going with them is kind of experimental. So bear with us on that, and hopefully we'll make that segment a great one. Um, and then again, like I said, Screaming to the Void on Saturdays. Myself, you can occasionally find me stopping in on the Legion Talk channel on Friday nights, Royal Rumble. And both Larry and I, as some of you know, moderate and help out Amira of Lioness Exiled, whose information again is in the description of this video, on her channel as well. So check it all out. Check each other's channels out. Go sub to each other as well. Rising tide lifts all ships. So yeah. That said, this has been this is a pretty good episode, I think, buddy. So he's muted. All right then. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you next time. Have a great night. And remember, YouTube, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.